Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are celebrating Dr. Vikram Sarabhai's death anniversary, paying tribute to the father of space program in India. Dr. Vikram Ambalal Sarabhai is considered as the father of Indian space program. He was a great institution builder and established or helped to establish a large number of institutions in diverse fields. He was instrumental in establishing the Physical Research Laboratory, PRL, in Ahmedabad after returning from Cambridge to an independent India. In 1947, he persuaded charitable trust controlled by his family and friends to endow a research institution near home in Ahmedabad. Thus, Vikram Sarabhai founded the Physical Research Laboratory, PRL, in Ahmedabad on November 11, 1947. He was only 18 at that time. Sarabhai was also a creator and cultivator of institutions, and PRL was the first step in that direction. Vikram Sarabhai served of PRL from 1966 to 1971. He was also chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission. He also, with another, uh, he also with other Ahmedabad-based industrialists, played a major role in the creation of the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Some of the most well-known institutions established by Dr. Vikram Sarabhai are Physical Research Laboratory, PRL, Ahmedabad, Indian Institute of Management, IIM, Ahmedabad, Community Service Center, Ahmedabad, Darpan Academy for Performing Arts, Ahmedabad, along with his wife, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Thiruvananthapuram, Space Application Center, Ahmedabad. This institution came into existence after merging 6 institution centers established by Vikram Sarabhai. Faster Breeder Test Reactor, FBTR, Kalpakam, Variable Energy Cyclotron Project, Calcutta, Electronics Corporation of India Limited, ESAIL, Hyderabad, Uranium Corporation of India Limited, UCAL, Yadaguda, Bihar. So the establishment of the Indian Space Research Organization was one of his greatest achievements. He successfully convinced the government of the importance of space program for a developing country like India. After the Russian Sputnik launch, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai emphasized the importance of a space program in his quote. There are some who question the relevance of space activities in a developing nation. To us, there is no ambiguity of purpose. We do not have the fantasy of competing with the economically advanced nations in the exploration of the moon or the planets or the manned space flight. But we are convinced that if we are to play a meaningful role nationally and in the community of nations, we must be second to none in the application of advanced technologies in the real problems of man and society. Dr. Homi Jahangir Baba, widely regarded as the father of India's nuclear science program, supported Dr. Sarabhai in setting up the first rocket launching station in India. The center was established at Tumba near Tiruvananthapuram on the coast of the Arabian Sea, primarily because of its proximity to the equator. After a remarkable effort in setting up infrastructure, personal communication links, and launch pads, the inaugural flight was launched on November 21st, 1963, with a sodium vapor payload. As a result of Dr. Vikram A. Sarabhai's dialogue with NASA in 1966, the satellite instructional television experiment site was launched during July 1975 to July 1976, when Dr. Vikram Sarabhai was no more. Dr. Sarabhai started a project for the fabrication and launch of an Indian satellite. Also, a result of first Indian satellite, Aryabhatta was put into orbit in 1975 from a Russian cosmodrome. Dr. Sarabhai was very interested in science education and founded a community science center at Ahmedabad in 1966. Today, the center is called Vikram Sarabhai Community Science Center. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai was born on 12th August 1919 in the city of Ahmedabad, Gujarat state in Western India. The Sarabhai family was an important and rich Jain business family. His father, Ambalal Sarabhai, was an affluent industrialist and owned many mills in Gujarat. Vikram Sarabhai was one of the 8 children of Ambalal and Sarla Devi. Sarabhai matriculated from Gujarat School in Ahmedabad and after passing the intermediate science examination. After then, he moved to England and joined the St. John's College, University of Cambridge. He received the Tripos in Natural Sciences from Cambridge in 1940. With the escalation of the Second World War, Sarabhai returned to India and joined the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore and began research in cosmic rays under the guidance of Sir C.V. Raman, a Nobel Prize winner. He returned to Cambridge after the war in 1945 and was awarded a PhD degree in 1947 for his thesis titled Cosmic Ray Investigation in Tropical Latitudes. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai died on 30th December 1971 at Kovalam, Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. He has been awarded Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award in 1962, Padma Bhushan in 1966, Padma Vibhushan, posthumous after death, 1972. He was also adorned with distinguished positions, President of the Physics Section, Indian Science Congress, 1962, President of the General Conference of the IAEA, Vienna, 1970, Vice President, 4th UN Conference of Peaceful Uses of Atomic Energy, 1971. The Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, VSSC, a research institute specializing in solid and liquid propellants for rockets located in Thiruvananthapuram, Trivandrum, capital of Kerala state, is named in his memory. In 1974, the International Astronomical Union at Sydney decided that a moon crater, Bessel, in the Sea of Serenity will be known as the Sarabhai crater. With a belief that space technology could play a meaningful role in national development and solving the problems of common man. Dr. Vikram A. Sarabhai shaped the Indian space program in 1960. The Indian space program concentrated on achieving self-reliance and developing capability to build and launch communication satellites for television broadcasts, telecommunications, and meteorological applications, remote sensing satellites for management of natural resources. Thus, Indian space program initiated space activities in the country and gradually ISRO came into existence on August 15, 1969. Vikram Sarabhai married to the classical dancer Mrinalini in 1942. The couple had two children. His daughter Mallika gained prominence as an actress and activist, and his son Kartikeya too became an active person in science. He attended Gujarat College, Ahmedabad, but later moved to University of Cambridge, England, where he took his tripos in natural sciences in 1940. In 1945, he returned to Cambridge to pursue his PhD and wrote a thesis, Cosmic Ray Investigation in Tropical Latitudes, in 1947. His interests varied from science to sports to statistics. He set up the Operational Research Group, ORG, the first market research organization in the country, most notable among many institutions. He helped set up our Nehru Foundation for Development in Ahmedabad, Ahmedabad Textile Industry Research Association, Atira, along with his wife, Mrinalini Sarabhai. He founded the Darpana Academy of Performing Arts. Other projects and institutions initiated were already mentioned. As a result, the first Indian satellite, Aryabhatta, was put in the orbit in 1975 from the Russian Cosmodrome. And he is also founder of Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO. On 30th December 1971, Sarabhai was to review the SLV design before his departure for Bombay the same night. He had spoken to APJ Abdul Kalam on the telephone Within an hour into the conversation, Sarabhai died of cardiac arrest at the age of 52 in Trivandrum, now Thiruvananthapuram. His body was cremated in Ahmedabad. So we, on this day, pay tribute to our great father of Indian space, Dr. Vikram Ambalal Sarabhai, and remember him forever for his immense contribution. Today is also commemorated as Sodium Bicarbonate Day, celebrates the bicarbonate of soda and its uses on December 30th. Every year, this day acknowledges a fundamental commodity of every household and especially of every kitchen. This is also known as common salt, that is bicarbonate of soda, is commonly known as bread soda, cooking soda, and baking soda. These names correspond to its scientific and chemical compound name, which is NaHCO3, also known as sodium bicarbonate. Bicarbonate of soda is the most used chemical compound because of its many practical and effective uses. It is a white powder like crystalline that usually appears as a fine powder. When consumed, it tastes salty, one that is likened to alkaline water. The earliest uses of this substance can trace back to ancient Egypt. In 3000 BC, ancient Egyptians used a product called natron, which mainly consisted of sodium bicarbonate. In 1971, French chemist Nicolas Leblanc made what was known as soda ash. The most common use of bicarbonate of soda is as a leavening agent, specifically in the preparation of food. This is technically a component that would make a dough or batter rise through a chemical reaction. When combined with gas, and heat, before the 1800s, most people would add yeast to their baked goods and desserts to let it grow. The only downside of this that is tedious process, and in most cases, the yeast would die at very hot or very cold temperatures. This is how baking soda started being used. As of 21st century, this chemical composition was produced in bulk. Around 2 million tons of volume per year is produced. It is shipped worldwide and is sold to business and consumers for utility and productive. Bicarbonate of soda has been deemed a miracle ingredient for many purposes, such as removing foul odors, eliminating pesticides, neutralizing fires, brushing teeth, cleaning, and so much more. Today is also commemorated as National Resolution Planning Day. On December 30, we are getting head start on setting goals for next year. 1 in 3 people fail their New Year resolutions in the very first day and first month, and only 10% of people are successful at keeping their resolutions throughout the year. So, while there are many reasons for this, it is necessary that you set and commit to your resolutions before New Year actually begins for a better chance at success. Today is also commemorated as Falling Needles Family Fest Day in US, which is a special day that is celebrated on December 30 every year in US. This reminds us to clean up Christmas trees and recycle them instead of letting them rot away. Live Christmas trees are usually the centerpiece of the decorations in a lot of people's houses. So, what happens to the tree after the Christmas is over? Lights and tinsel can go into the storage until next year if they are good, but real trees will need to be disposed of safely. The best way to clean up your live tree is to make sure it gets recycled. Christmas tree, which was not part of the Christmas celebrations initially, became popular in America around 1700 and have become a symbol of Christmas around the country since then. Private homes and public spaces alike are decorated with Christmas trees as the season rolls around. But the most important thing is to ensure that your live tree returns to the environment, to make sure that it gets recycled and doesn't end up in the landfill and becomes part of enormous amount of waste and gases generated during this season. If you happen to have a tree with roots still attached, you could just plant in your backyard, and this is even better than a plastic tree because you will be able to bring it inside from the garden next time for your Christmas. So without recycling, this Christmas tree is causing a lot of harm to the environment and also leading to greenhouse gases and also deforestation and various other aspects. So nowadays it's better to avoid such a tree. Instead, use some useful tree like or some beneficial tree like fruits or flowering trees, which you can keep it year long and celebrate on that. So similarly, tulsi or any other medicinal herb which is used by many, even in Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, which is long before any religion ever existed. They promoted a lot of these useful herbal trees to be part of daily worship and daily diet so that you are free from all kinds of diseases and illness. Today is also commemorated as Festival of Enormous Changes at the last minute in US. People usually panic when they realize that there are only 2 days left of the year until the next year rolls out. You may think you are out of time, but you still have 2 days to complete and fulfill your goals of the year. This day reminds us that changes can still be made and New Year's resolution can still be resolved. 2 days may not be lengthy, but it is enough time to finish whatever you started. You can always start the diet or workout routine, take the time to plan for the next year, and undertake and commit to those plans this time around. So, with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. See you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night. Before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which has been shared in the form of quotes.